And welcome out to the Tyus Bowser Show press box in 105.7 The Fan. I am Glenn Clark. She is Reeta Hubbard. And he is the host of our program. He is Mr. Tyus Bowser. And normally we have a big, huge, hello, Tyus!
Yeah!
How's it going?
It's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you as well.
Really appreciate it. It's been too long, man. We shouldn't go 3 weeks without seeing each other. I don't like that.
Has it been 3 weeks?
Yeah. We had the bye, and so we wanted to...
Yeah.
It was going to be awkward if we had gotten together after the bye, like, so, how about nothing?
Yeah. That did make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that was smart schedule-wise. Great to see you. Today's show brought to you by Superbook. The Ravens are currently the #1 seed in the AFC, perhaps you've heard.
Yeah. Clap it up.
And you're running out of time to get more favorable odds on a Festivus run. They're currently plus 220 to win the conference, plus 650 to win it all at Superbook. Download the Superbook app or visit superbook.com. Use the code GlennClark23 when you sign up, and you'll receive a same-day first bet match up to $250, win or lose. You guys are the #1 seed in the AFC. I don't know if you just heard that a second ago.
Yeah, I did.
How good does that feel at the moment?
You know, the job is not finished yet. Quoted to Kobe, you know, the job's not finished. We still have, 4 more games, I believe, and, playoffs is right after that. I could probably say I'm going to be more satisfied when we're holding up the trophy.
I appreciate it.
So,
Yeah.
Our mindset right now is just locked in on Jacksonville and just trying to come out that weekend 1-0.
This is a question, and we're going to talk later about one of the former Ravens on this team, but when you look at the AFC North right now, while the Ravens are the #1 seed, they only have a 2-game lead against the Browns. Is that something that y'all pay attention to? I mean, obviously you don't. You have to worry about what's ahead of you, but are you kind of peeking in the rearview mirror? Is that motivation to be like, no, we got to finish this job because it's really not over? It really is a very tight race so far with only 4 games remaining.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the National Football League, and anything can happen. I remember,
as we saw on Monday night.
Exactly. And I remember watching what game was that came on during a bye week where we went from first to third, and we didn't even play that week, And I remember watching the game last night, the Dolphins and the Titans game, and, Coach kind of brought that up during meetings today, just how he wasn't watching it, but he was definitely, keeping that in check as far as, if they won or lost. And, of course, we was happy that the Dolphins lost because that puts us, ahead a little bit more. But we pay attention to little stuff like that because we want to try to be, the #1 seed, get that first round bye. So we take attention of that, but we don't make that the main focal point. We control what we control. And when we do that, then the rest will kind of handle itself. And, I mean, we're in a great position to, continue to take, lead and have control of that #1 seed. And it's pretty much in our hands at this point. If we take care of business, then everything else ain't going to matter.
So we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight because it's just us. So we're going to do some more like talk show stuff. And you and Reeta get to have a debate right now.
I'm actually looking forward to this.
This is a true story. You just said you want to get that #1 seed.
Yes.
You know who doesn't want you guys to get the #1 seed?
Snitches get stitches.
Thank you, Carmela.
Well, this is where I stand with that. The December bye is extremely late, and you only have 5 games left. And so my concern is that if you build momentum, particularly in the schedule that you guys have, which is the most difficult schedule remaining, does a bye week bring rust when you come out of the bye? And this could be me and my Orioles fan.
Yep. We're all thinking about it.
Because people keep saying 2019, and I'm like, I'm past 2019. This team is from a personnel perspective, this team is way better than 2019. But I'm still living in PTSD of what the Orioles just did by winning their division and having rest, and then they got swept, right? Yeah. So my concern is if, let's say y'all finish 4-1, right? That's a huge momentum swing. And my concern is that if you get rest, do you come out still swinging? Do you come out lethargic and it takes you a half? Obviously, I don't play. I know you guys want the rest. I just don't want y'all guys to take y'all foot off the gas. That's my concern.
And you know what's crazy is one of our coaches kind of brought it up today in position meetings when he kind of talked about, living in the moment and just embracing, games like this where, it wasn't our best game, but you understand it's the NFL and every single game is hard regardless of who it is. And we had just came off of a bye. And, in a way, this was sort of like a trap game, really. But the way that it happened, it was like one of those experiences that we didn't have as a team. So to be able to go through that and find a way to win a game, especially in that matter, that is good for us as like a food for thought moving forward. To know, hey, we've been in this position before. We've came out of a bye week. We came out sluggish. We didn't meet our goals and our emphasis for the week as far as taking care of business on the defensive side. But hey, we won the game.
Yeah.
We found a way to win the game. We found a way to get the stops that we needed. We found a way to get the points. We found a way to make the perfect plays that we needed to win the game. And we understand when it comes to January football, you just never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. I mean, everything is not going to happen the way that you want it to happen because it's the playoffs, And same with December football. And that's one of the things that we noticed. That's one of the things that we embrace is that, hey, regardless of how we came out, we found a way to win because it's the NFL. It don't matter who you playing. You got to come out and you just got to find a way to come out with a W at the end of the week.
You actually read ahead a little bit on that one because, by the way, this is the Tyus Bowser Show, Press Box and 105.7 The Fan. One thing that, after a game like that, and we're going to get to Thailand in a second, but you'll hear fans, almost want you to apologize for that type of game. You almost be like, hey, that wasn't good enough. You're going to have to be better than that, right?
Yeah.
I always wonder how you guys approach that. When you sit in a room together, are you feeling the same thing? Are you thinking hey, man, we won, but we got to be better than that? Or is your reaction more no, dude, this is the NFL. I don't know who's calling me right now. How dare they not know that I'm doing a Tyus Bowser show? This is the NFL. This is the way it works. There's no perfect. There's no... we feel great about how we played on Sunday because that's the difficulty of winning a game against a good team in the NFL.
And that's correct. I mean, for us, we have a standard to how we move and how we play. And at the same time, we understand that everybody is professionals. Everybody is, the best football players in the world. And you got to come every single week ready to play because it doesn't matter if they're the 0-17 Browns or the 2-17, I don't know who else. They're going to come and put out their best foot forward to come out here and beat you. And that's what they want to do. They want to strike something within their season to help them, move forward. But I mean, we are, like I said, we have a standard. We know that we can play a lot better than what we did. We could have came out swinging a lot quicker. We could have made a lot more plays, especially coming off of the bye week. I mean, we kind of felt like we were sluggish, but we understand that it's a football game and you got to fight. And at the same time, we know that these guys are professionals as well, and they get paid. They got to provide and take care of their families just like we have to. And at the end of the day, if you come out with a win, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Right.
That's all that matters, and that's our mindset. But we also have the same thought as well, as this is not the standard of how we play. We know we're better than this, but this is a learning lesson for us moving forward, that not only we have been through this situation so we know how to handle it, but then as well, we don't want to put ourselves back in this situation and possibly we don't have the same outcome that we did. So,
all right, I want to do something. This is going to be an exercise right now. First of all, if you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Reeta, I want to start with you, and then I'm going to have you go first, then Tyus go second. Reeta, would you be willing to recreate what you looked like as you were watching Tylan Wallace get free? Maybe what you sounded like, Could you maybe, like, if we pretend, would you be willing to do that? Like, can you tell us what it...
First of all, I'm not going to be able to reenact that because I am a older woman, and that requires me to use my knees again. And I'm not going to do that, okay? I was jumping up and down like I was a child, and I felt that pain later on and that night, and I needed 3 Advil to help my knees from hurting. So no, I'm not going to reenact that.
What if we just did the audio? What if we only did the audio?
No, I can't do that either because there's a lot of expletives that were said in that moment as well. Because I was sitting next to a guy. I go to this place to watch the game, and it was a guy that comes, and he's a Colts fan. He just comes to sit. He comes and he just
Colts fan.
Yes, he just likes to. He's the resident.
Just a troll?
Yes, he's the resident Ravens hater. So he just likes to sit there and be like, y'all ain't winning today. So
we used to make things in this country.
Yeah. So I'm yelling at the screen because they have it on like a huge screen like this, but like real huge. And then I'm yelling at the young man because. And you know it wasn't nice. So no, I cannot reenact neither my physical actions because I'm too old to do that, and I can't reenact how I sounded because I did some cursing.
Tyus, can you reenact what it was like?
Yeah, I mean, I remember being beside Sam Cooke on like the 50-yard line or whatever, and I remember looking. I was like, all right, let's go to work, Ty. Let's go to work, Ty. Oh, yeah, Ty. Oh, yeah, Ty. Oh, yeah, Ty. Oh, yeah, Ty. Oh, stay up. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, that was it.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Was Sam Cooke was he the proud father? Was that a proud father moment for Sam Cooke?
He's the most stoked
I wasn't even paying attention to him at that point. I just knew he was beside me because I seen him right beside me. And it was like, yeah, it's time to go to work, Ty. And then I was just looking at him go. I seen him, and he made the big block. And then I seen him break off free. And then that's when my eyes started getting big. And then the dude came and tried to trip him. He kept his feet.
Yeah.
And from there, I tried running on the field, felt my knee a little bit. Then I kept running. And I was like, oh, yeah. Then ran down the field, and it was just amazing.
Like a genuine soul leaving your body type of. Yeah,
what did you do, Glenn?
Yeah, what did you do?
I mostly said, well, that's fun. And then
I think Glenn is a liar.
I'm a very old man.
Yeah.
I use the acronym, quite frankly, LFG.
Yeah, sure, right?
So if you know what that means, you know what I said.
Let's freaking go. Everybody knows that one. It's exactly, you say, let's freaking go.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't understand why you couldn't say that on the air. Let's freaking go, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one she said, right? And we're all.
That is what she said.
She always says
yeah, yeah. That's whatever I say on the post game show is what I said on Press Box. I mean, when that happened.
And we actually went through our photos. You know, the photos that we have on the wall.
Yep.
And stuff. So we got to choose which ones. There was only 3 of them, and they was all for Tyler.
Hey, but did we ever get an update on the last one that you guys didn't like? Was an update made?
It wasn't made. But, you know.
I thought we put in the inquiry and everything.
I thought we did too, but.
Man.
I remember asking, they said, yeah, they didn't have any access to that photo or didn't know where that photo was.
You're the Baltimore Ravens.
I said the same thing.
I don't understand this at all.
I said the same
So
thing.
what did you guys go with from?
So the first one that showed, it was like from the opposite side view looking at us of him running. And the first thing I'm looking at, and I see myself and I'm looking like this. I was like, oh my God, they done put me out here on the spot. Everybody laughed.
Is that the one in the?
No, I don't think that's going to win. It's another one. But the other two, it's not that.
Who would I need to ask about getting a copy of that?
I mean, if I was able to get a copy, I should have took a picture of it, but I don't want to be pulling out my phone during team meetings. But
I would have preferred, you know what would have been a good picture is a screenshot of Harbaugh in the camera at the end of the game. That would have been perfect.
That would have been perfect.
Because his reaction is probably everybody. He is all of us. He was a fanboy in that moment.
Yeah, he definitely was.
That was
I remember
my favorite
seeing
part.
that, and I was like, yo, Harbs is funny, man.
And he's not even trying to be funny.
Not even trying to be funny. He's just caught in the moment. He's just embracing that time, and whatever he's showing is truly him. So that was real cool seeing that.
I want to ride with that for a second, right? I told you, we're going to rip up. I always write out a script for the show. Forget the script this week. We're just going with it. You just said something, because I try to explain this to people. There are people that don't like decisions that John Harbaugh makes within a game, right? They'll say, why don't you take a timeout there? Why don't you go for it there? Why don't you... I always say it this way. I'm like, whatever you feel about John Harbaugh's decision-making, I can't tell you whether you're right or wrong. What I can say is what you just talked about resonates to me in a big way from every player that I speak to with a microphone in front of them, and every guy that I talk about with them about when there's no microphone anywhere near us, which is the leadership side of this, the personality, the way it gels, right? And I keep saying winning doesn't happen by accident, or you don't win for 15 years in spite of your head coach. That's insane. The culture couldn't be like that. Could you explain, because what you just said, like that moment and how that resonated, could you tell us a little bit more about why it's such a fit with John Harbaugh and you guys that this culture exists here?
Number one, because he's a player's coach. And I feel like that's the number one and most important thing because he understands his players. He understands that we're grown men. He understands we are professionals, and like it's not an ego. It's not really an egotistic thing when, if a player has something to say or player has a different mindset or, whatever the case may be. Like, he understands that his players are the reason why he's in that job, and when you have players that care, you have players that wants to fight, and you allow them to do that, you show them love, you show them respect, you show them appreciation, like, how do you not want to play for a guy like that, And that tells a lot about him, just the type of man that he is and how much he cares, and he's always trying to do the best that he can for his team, for his players. And even when there's a bad call or a bad play, I mean, the play with Zay Flowers, when he caught the ball and then dude started picking him up and stuff, you can see Harbaugh.
He wanted to fight.
No,
like
he really was. He really was about to fight the dude. Like, got in his face and everything. It was like,
I missed it at first. Like, when it was happening, I didn't catch it at all.
No, I'm looking, I'm seeing it, and I could see it in his eyes, like, I'm this close from punching you through your face mask right now.
About to have a big Dom moment.
Don't touch my player like that. Like, that's what, and that simply showed that. How do you not want to run through a brick wall for that man? And that shows you the type of culture, starting with him.
Yep.
As far as being a leader, just being a player's coach and allowing his players to flourish and be the actual players that you brought them into this organization to be. And that's how you propel and become the organization, the team that you look for to compete for a world championship.
Yeah, I'm not gonna poo-poo on coaches that are pretty stoic, like the Bill Belichick's of the world, who when they celebrate he just doesn't really smile a ton. But it's good to see when things like Sunday's game happens that coaches get enthusiastically involved in the process. Because my favorite thing is the post game video of Tylon. Everybody's like throwing Gatorade at him, and Harbaugh's like in the back jumping up and down like a kid. And I was like, he's so unintentionally funny, but he's living in the moment, and that's. I don't know how important that is to y'all. I don't know if that really matters in the grand scheme of things, right? But ultimately, like, when you see your coach as enthusiastic as you are about a huge win like that, I mean, to me, I would think that speaks volumes.
It does speak volumes, man. I mean, who was expecting their coach to be jumping around, throwing water and hugging and everything, trying to dance and stuff? Like, nobody's expecting that. He's an older cat. He can't do too much, but, he's trying to live in his younger days. He's trying to still feel, which, I mean, from in the locker room, it seemed like he still got a lot to him, which is great to see. Like, that's just more energy, given to the team, and just his energy, just his presence, just the way he speaks, it does a big part as far as how this team moves forward. And just to have somebody like that, I mean, it's awesome. It's great to have.
All right, I'm going to wrap this segment because we didn't really talk about Tylon. What that moment meant for him, everything he's been through, injuries, thinking he was off the team, and how you guys embraced him finally getting the chance to say, like, yeah, I can help too. Like, I want to be a part of this thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of really started when he had the offsides on punt return, and people caught notice of that. And you know, he had the opportunity to get in as a punt returner and made plays for us. And then, like you said, just having that big play, that big moment for him. I honestly thought it was a jump start for him, you know, mentally as a player, because like you said, he's been through a lot, you know, just with constant hamstring injuries and, you know, barely making the team and just trying to put his name out there to show people that he still is that player. Yep. And, you know, it just takes something as simple as one play, one moment that can really just jumpstart or change your entire game, your entire career. And just to be able to see that out of him, especially me being around him enough to see the type of guy he is, how he take care of business, how hard he works, you know, just the kind dude that he is. You know, you just want to see people like that flourish. You want to see people like that happy. And for him to have that moment, man, it was heartwarming to see his face, you know, walking through the locker room, just smiling. I don't think I've seen him smile that hard in a while, you know. Even in the locker room, even in the meetings and stuff, you could just see his persona just change. And it's great to see something like that happen for him, because I know what he's been through. I know the challenges that he's faced, and just being able to, you know, find a way to continue to stay positive and keep a strong mindset, and just to go out there and when your name is called, to go out there and make a play that can help this team win.
That was awesome. That was awesome, man. All right, make some noise for Tyus Bowser, please. The show is a partnership of Pressbox and Grade 8's Memorabilia, and if you missed him at the Tyus Bowser Show, you can meet Justin Matabike next Tuesday, December 19th at Wines Markets in Haverty Grace. A VIP autograph ticket will cost you just a $25 donation to Grade 8's Memorabilia's Project 500 Gifts Toy Drive. It's a win-win, so get those tickets right now, grade8smemorabilia.com. When we come back in, we got to get caught up with you, and we want you to put your analyst hat on in the next segment. Analyst Tybo is what we're doing when we come back in. This is the Tyus Bowser Show. Welcome back in for segment number 2 of the Tyus Bowser Show. We are live at Alonso's on Cold Spring Lane in Roland Park. Pressbox 105.7 The Fan. I'm Glenn. She's Rita. He is Tyus Bowser. I don't even know what else there is. I love Alonso so much. I've been to Alonso so many times over the years, whether it's the wings, the Indian food from Namaste. It is all outstanding. Alonso's on Cold Spring Lane in Roland Park. We love them. All right, before we have you put your analyst hat on real quick, because you mentioned when you're jumping around, you had to think about your knee for a second.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Good. Yeah, I'm good.
Any chance we still, you know?
There's always a chance.
All right, that's all I needed.
Always a chance.
That's all I needed. I don't like when I hear the term angry, by the way. What is it?
Yeah,
Is that your term or is that his term?
That was definitely his term.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
You've never described your knee as being angry?
No.
No?
Never.
Okay, very good. Let's move forward. It's time to be analyst Tybo.
All right.
So, you know, we get this from Marlon likes to pretend that he's an analyst sometimes.
I be seeing that, man.
He's not really good at it.
His record in picking college football games is very bad.
Although I think he did do good the rival weekend. He did do good rivalry weekend.
Yeah, it's a bad overall record.
But yeah, I was about to say overall he's really not good.
So we want you to be analyst Tybo.
Okay.
So I start with this. Give me a young player on the team this year.
A young
that player has from where they were when they showed up this year to where they are now. Who has most impressed you?
Who has most impressed me?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say T-Rob.
Tyus Robinson.
Yep.
Okay.
We haven't fully been able to see it yet. Like we see it in doses, right?
And that's what I like, because he's still a rookie. He's still a young guy. He's still figuring it out. But what he's been able to take on a role that is controlled, and he's able to be productive. He's able to go out there and play hard and not think so much. Because I know for me, being a rookie, I had to think a lot just because of my position and having to drop, having to rush, having to do different types of stuff. And I can definitely say it was a little overwhelming, but I had the opportunity to do the same thing in college, so it helped me. And for him, I could see just with him having to play the 4 tag, having to play the 5, just different types of stuff, especially with the numbers as far as with the outside linebacker group and D-line group. He's been able to take on, a few challenges and make the most of it. And you could just see, little sparks as far as him getting this groove. You can start seeing him starting to make plays. He had his first sack, and I was like, I'm starting to see it. I'm seeing it come along, And it's not nothing crazy like no Zay Flowers with a ton of plays and, a ton of moments, especially, this past week. But just being able to see what he's able to do in a controlled environment with the plays that he has and what coach have him do as a responsibility, during the game, or really just what his role is during the season with the guys we have. Like, he's embracing that. He's taking that on head on, and he's being very productive right now. So I'm liking it.
I like that.
Okay. Is there a player from another team, an opposing team that you've faced this year that has impressed you?
Young guy?
Yeah.
Young guy.
Or anybody in general. Somebody that maybe until you saw them in person, you didn't know how good they were.
I'll probably say that, what's his name? Nuka?
Puka is the real deal.
Now, I've seen a lot of his highlights, on social media, and of course LeBron shouting him out and things like that. But seeing him in person, seeing how big he is, seeing how fast he is, seeing how strong he is, seeing the plays that he made, I was like, wow, this dude is like, he's like actually kind of shocking me right now.
How did he not go until the 5th round of the draft?
And he looks like a vet. Like he makes vet type decisions, which is even more crazy, right?
And I forgot who told me, but they kind of described his game as far as very mature for his age, and just the moves that he makes, just his IQ and how he thinks and what he sees out there. And then he kind of just let his talent and his abilities kind of do the rest. But he flourishes so well in an advanced level because of his mind and how he's able to think and, make the game more simpler for him. So that's what I caught. And I seen him, after the game, I'm like, bro, you're starting to make him, bro.
Wow.
Like, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ever done that before? Like, have you ever approached a dude on the field and said that to him?
Not a young guy like that.
Wow.
But
you went out of your way to go over.
I mean, the dude was like,
he's a monster.
Dennis Rodman catching the ball on the sideline. And who was beside me? Somebody was beside me. He was like, oh my gosh, did he just catch that?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild.
It was one of the coaches I forgot, but we seen it was like, yo, that's a next level catch. In the rain, no gloves on. Like, in that moment, I was like, yeah, he's definitely somebody.
You mentioned he got a shout out from LeBron. It's not the only guy that got a shout out from LeBron this season. When Mark Andrews got a shout out from him, were you ever any part of you like, bro, I wish that was me? I wish that.
Honestly, I didn't see it.
Oh man, it was a big deal. That was a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal, right?
That is a big deal. But I mean, he's Mark Andrews, and he's showing
He's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. I've heard that.
It's okay, I think.
Yeah. Well, be nice to have him out there. Anyway, the biggest difference for this team in being able to win a Super Bowl.
Biggest difference.
Analyst Tybo.
Biggest difference.
Yeah.
Biggest difference. I think I think it's more mental as far as games and shutting them out. Shutting out games that we're supposed to win when we're ahead, not letting them creep back or and Coach had also mentioned as well, there's not a game this year that we've had to come back and win, and that was part of what I said in the last segment as far as different experiences that we've been through that's going to help us move forward, this season, and just being able to, not only come off of a bye, having a slow start, being behind, but find a way to win. Regardless of what's happening, find a way to win. So I think that's another point. And then really just making the plays that we need to make and not hurting ourselves. I think that's the most important thing, is not not losing a game because of yourself. You know, mistakes on yourself.
You guys haven't beaten yourselves at all this year. That's never happened. What are you talking about?
At all.
It hasn't happened once.
So many people are saying, man, we should be undefeated right now.
Jadeveon Clowney, when you had him as a guest a couple weeks ago, was very adamant that y'all should have been undefeated. And look, I like that because it means that, you know, he knows that the ability is there, but everything that's happened up until that point has been on you guys and not your opponent.
Exactly.
You beating yourselves. So, you know, I'm sure you guys all feel the same way, but maybe that also break adversity sometimes, you know, pressure bust pipes. So, you know.
And I mean, I think Belichick kind of brung up the quote that more games are lost than won. And the reason of that is because a lot of teams beat themselves.
Yeah.
And we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to make sure that we don't put ourselves in that situation of beating ourselves. Because obviously we've done that already, you know, just the bad losses that we have. But when it matters, December football, January football, playoff football, you don't want to be in that position of beating yourself. So I definitely say that's definitely a big point for us.
Hey, what company has the expertise and technology to make your home substantially more energy efficient, comfortable, and even virus-free? It's A.J. Michaels Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis at ajmichaels.com. It's the Tyus Bowser Show press box in 105.7 The Fan. I'm going to go off script for a second because you talked about making the plays to win. And we were all talking about Thailand, obviously, from Sunday. But what we didn't talk about in that first segment that we should have? The back-to-back plays, 3rd and 17, and the 2-point conversion.
Phenomenal. I don't think I've seen a back-to-back segment like that this year.
We haven't had to.
Yeah, that part of that's true.
It's a valid point.
Part of that is true.
No, just the greatness of it. I think that's what I mean. Not necessarily the actual plays
I'll
themselves.
probably say the last time was when we played the Colts in that game where we came back and we had all them phenomenal plays.
The Monday night game a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably my last time that I can really think right now.
What is the energy like when you realize, like, hey, this isn't getting overturned, they're going to screw us here, and it's really going to be 3rd and 17, and the game's on the line? Like, what's the energy like? Is there any part of you that's like, man, we might have let this one get away too? Or can you take me into that moment?
Well, number one, I wasn't sure why the clock kept going after he done stopped the entire game. The clock was steady going, and I thought he was going to put more time on the clock to help us out, but he didn't. But anyways, I mean, of course, you know, you're a little frustrated because, you know, we're putting ourselves in this predicament, but, you know, it's kind of hard to count yourself out when you got number 8 in the backfield.
It's true.
You know, it's kind of hard to, you know, count yourself out when you got number 3, you know, out wide, when you got number 4 out there, when you got number 15 out there, you got number 7 out there. And, you know, that's the hope that you have, you know, as far as in those situations. But, I mean, that play was honestly crazy, you know, and I remember seeing something on Twitter that mentioned that that Nelson Aguilar was telling Lamar that, you know, I'm going to push across to get this safety to go with me, and then that allow
the throwing lanes right there.
I mean, that
unsung hero. That's the unsung hero of that play.
Exactly, and that not only tells you the type of leadership that Nelson has, and not even putting it on him to want the ball, but to allow somebody else to make the play to help his team win.
I'm so glad you said that, man.
You know, that right there is the DNA of this football team, is that there's no selfish guys. The main mindset is to win. And that's everybody's mindset. And that's the comforting part, is that there's no egos when it comes to winning, man, with this team. Everybody just wants to win. Everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants to, you know, provide for their families. And you know how you do that? you win games. When you win games, your plays will come. When you win games, that's when them promotions come. That's when them endorsements come. That's when you're able to put money in your pocket. And that's the mindset that I felt that Nelson had at that point. And from there, it's pretty much on Lamar to make a phenomenal play with Aaron Donald running right in your face.
So as good as that one was, and it was unbelievable. Like, I mean, it was unbelievable. It was jaw-dropping. The 2-point conversion.
No,
was
that was even better. That was even better. We looked at it. We looked at it in the team meeting. It was like,
how?
First of all, how did you get this ball off?
Right.
Number two, how were you just so accurate while getting hit? And then just the connection that him and Four had to just know, like, I'm going to run it in, but push it back out, and throwing it on time in the situation of having to juke past a guy, look up, have faith that he's going to run outside, throw this on the dot while getting hit at the same time. Like,
yeah, but other than all that,
It's nothing special.
It was pretty casual, run of the mill,
Lamar Jackson-esque, But
it's insane because I said that and I'm like, I don't even know how to compare it.
I mean, I'm looking on the sideline, I'm seeing him doing this, and he throws the ball, and I don't see anybody over there until I see last minute he came across somebody else, and I see him caught the ball, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I think it's easy. I'm like, there's an argument that sequence, those two plays, are as good as anything we've ever seen from Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy because we know what we've seen from Lamar Jackson. We've seen impossible.
Yeah.
But the quality of those two plays and in the circumstances from 3rd and 17. And by the way, you had to get that 2-point conversion as it turns out, right? Like,
down by 1,
I don't know, man. I don't know that I've ever seen a sequence of 2 plays back to back quite like that from even that dude.
I mean, like I said, I can bring back the Colts game where we needed touchdowns, where we needed a 2-point conversion, where Lamar's running and he's in connection with Hollywood to throw this baby on this point, and he's already anticipating him coming back out because they already looking at each other like, I'm coming right here, but I'm coming here first, and just throw it right here,
Yep.
Like that type of stuff is just like, you can't really put into words what mentally you got to go through and the connection you got to have with players like that to make those big plays and those big moments.
It's unreal.
It was unreal.
When you look at the grand scheme of Sunday's game, there was a lot of mishaps at first, and I'm talking about on both sides of the ball. The run game for the Rams, they ran 9 straight times or something like that, and they were able to have success on the ground, and on offense the Ravens just wasn't really clicking. They had some drop passes, Zay had a drop, Odell had a drop, but then in the second half you see, the defense tightens up. You see that guys are making plays that need to be made. Does that speak about, how do you see how that speaks? Because while, we didn't have the greatest 4 quarters, right? And of course, when you're watching it on TV, here they go talking about 4th quarter and the Ravens, right? Here's another conversation that's coming. How important was that for y'all to overcome the adversity that maybe in week 3 or 4 against the Steelers, you guys were unable to do that, and then you were able to come back and make the plays necessary needed down the stretch to win that game?
Yeah, it's just a response. It's how you respond in these moments. We've been through these situations before, so how can you change the outcome of it? And those guys did it where they just locked in a little bit more to when that ball is coming to them. They locked in a little bit more when Deuce is adjusting, and this is the adjustment for the covers. This is the adjustment, for the D-line. And it's like, all right, now I got to lock in a little bit more to my craft. I got to lock in a little bit more to, my strength and my ability to get off a block and go and make a play. Like, I felt like everybody was just more in tune with everything, and you could see it on the bench. You could see, guys was like, okay, like it's time to respond in a different way than what we had before, and that was great to see. That was great to see, those plays being made when they needed to be made. And that, like I said, that just tells you about the team that we have mentally, that, we've been through this before, but we know now what we need to do to come out with a different outcome than we had before.
It's awesome. Give it up one more time for Tyus Bowser, please. Hey, if you're in the holiday spirit, you want to help those in need while meeting some favorite players, then this Saturday, Grade 8's Memorabilia's Rolling with Santa Bowling Party and Toy Drive is at Parkville Lanes. Some Ravens legends are going to be there. Tickets are $49 for adults, $25 for kids. A family 4-pack's just $125, or $200 for a full-lane rental for 6 people. Includes 2 hours of bowling, shoe rental, pizza and drinks, a gift from Santa for the kids, and a meet and greet. Get your tickets right now, grade8smemorabilia.com. When we come back in, I'm all over the place tonight. We're going to just start talking about anything when we come back in, including I think I'm going to get Tyus to sing. That's next. It's the Tyus Bowser Show.
Great.
Back in here for segment number 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show. Press Box and 105.7 The Fan. Reeta and Glenn, Tyus Bowser. We are at Alonso's on Cold Spring Lane in Roland Park. And my man, Benad, is the owner of Alonso's. This is his place. And he wanted to come say hello to everybody and tell you all what was going on at Alonso's. Benad, if you pick up that microphone right in front of you, talk right into it. First of all, Tyus Bowser's here. I got to imagine you're pretty excited about that.
I am extremely honored and excited. That's why we are such a lucky to have him here, especially my friend John Colson made it happen. Give him a big hand.
No, we don't. No, none of that. None of that.
Yeah, John.
Yes. So, testing. Okay.
You're good.
So, yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome everyone at Alonso, and especially with a very, very wonderful player from Raven, Mr. Bowser is here. So we are lucky, and especially I want to tell about Alonso. Alonso has been here since 1931.
Institution in Baltimore.
Before even Second World War. And the previous owner used to do the show with Raven players all the time.
I think Jarrett Johnson was here more frequently than he was at his own home when he lived in Baltimore.
And this is in a very beautiful neighborhood in Roland Park. This place has been Alonso. Restaurant business is very, very tough, but same name, and nothing changed. And this place is known for £1 burger. Is still going on. £1 burger.
It's not a challenge to see if Tyus and I can race to see who finishes it first, is it?
That will be lovely. Are you
I'm
ready
not
to
going to
pick
do that.
talent,
No
Tyus?
chance. No chance.
Not during the season, he can't.
I can't do this during the season right now, but
We come back here in April, maybe?
Yeah, like
We'd
April.
love to do that. That will be wonderful.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I can do it.
And
I don't know if I can do it, bro.
Since I'm a Nepalese immigrant, I want to tell you that soccer is big in Nepal and all over the world. But I have to tell you, American football is amazing here, and it's a very, very, very expensive sport, and they pay more money, and it's very well known in North America. And I learned here, and we are. Yeah, a lot of our kids, everybody following, and it's getting popular all over the world. And I'm sitting next to the Raven player, Mr. Brad. It's a great moment, and I cannot thank you enough. I hope you will recover very soon. May God bless you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
And
it.
we wish you. And the Raven has been doing amazing for this season. I can't believe. And again, John Colson.
No, stop with that. We can't. He's got to get a big head.
Yes.
Hey,
So, hello, Roland Park. Please come and join, and we will bring again and again some other. We will rotate the player, but we are lucky to have him here. And £1 burger is still going.
We're doing it in April. In April, we're coming back. Benad, thank you. Great to have you. Thank you, Benad. Thank you so much for having us at Alonso's. I can't do a £1. I can't do it. That's too much. I can't do it.
Y'all ain't asked me if I
can't
can do it.
Reeta, you in? You in a race against Tyus?
Race?
Yes. 1 pound burger challenge. Trippy wants to do it.
All right.
Trippy.
Okay.
We're tagging Trippy in for the challenge.
This is a tag team. Trippy got it.
We're tagging Trippy in to challenge Tyus in a 1 pound burger race. I love this. I love it. Hey, we've been doing a lot of great things this holiday season. I want to thank everybody who got into our raffle for the helmet that Tyus and everybody has been signing all year long. We raised $3,000 to help the Helping Up mission and the folks that are there. That is wonderful. Thank you for that. We got one more thing we're going to do to try to take care of the folks at Helping Up Mission. This coming Monday, December 18th, we're going to be at Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square on Campbell Boulevard. We're not going alone. Former Tyus Bowser Show guest Michael Pierce is going to be joining us. And if you want to meet Mike, you can bring out $25 worth of donations. We need unopened toiletries and underwear and socks. That's the type of stuff they need for the folks at the Helping Up Mission. So please come join us Monday night at Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Michael Pierce is going to be there, and he's happy to take pictures and sign autographs for anybody who brings out donations. So please do that with us on Monday. All right, so Tyus, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
It's the holiday season.
Uh-huh.
I'm literally driving to Philadelphia to see Mariah Carey this week.
That's amazing.
What's
Go
twofold? I'm going to give it to Reeta as well. I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go Reeta first. The song that when it comes on during the holidays, you just say, if I hear this again, I'm going to lose my mind. I can't put up with it anymore. What's the song that drives you the craziest during the holidays? Reeta, I'll start with you. You're not prepared.
You guys are gonna not like me. No, I don't love Christmas music. So my tribe is in here. Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Why do you have such a hateful heart?
No, I enjoy Christmas. I think it's about the fact that y'all don't let Thanksgiving, which in my opinion is the greatest holiday in the world, have its day. Y'all want to start playing Christmas music with Thanksgiving.
It's mid-December now, Reeta.
And I don't like that.
It's more than enough time to start listening to Christmas music.
People was putting up Christmas lights before Thanksgiving.
I know, I do it. I understand. We've been through this before.
He's one of those people.
That's neither here nor there. That's not related to the subject at hand. All right?
That's not how it's supposed to go.
It's extraordinarily healthy, and I'm sorry that I have joy and you don't.
How is that healthy?
It's because it's joyful. I walk around and I say, look at how much.
Why can't I live in the moment?
It's mental health is health, Tyus.
Why can't we just live in the moment of where we are?
You have completely derailed this topic.
Okay, so back to the topic. So the answer is I don't. All of them.
All right.
The answer.
I'm going to hope that
everything but Silent Night by the Temptations is not getting played by me. That's it.
God.
I'm hoping that I can get a better answer from you, Tyus.
Mariah Carey.
That's the one that drives you crazy?
As he's going to go see Mariah Carey tomorrow.
Driving to Philadelphia to see Mariah Carey.
Yes. Mariah Carey.
I was going to invite you and everything.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to invite you to go with me.
I think he's going to be busy.
If I'm not meeting Mariah Carey, then I mean
you're out.
Yeah. I want to meet Mariah Carey.
What is the song that when it comes on we could catch you humming along to, belting out maybe in the car?
Like a Chris Brown, what was it, Boys to Men?
Let It Snow.
Let it snow.
Hey.
Let it snow. All right, that's it.
That's what I was waiting for.
That's all I got for you.
I've been waiting for this moment all year.
Let it snow. Ooh. Let it snow. Let it snow. Hey. Yeah.
Y'all are gonna go end up
there
on
you go.
tour.
There you go.
We're gonna end up sending Tyus and Reeta out to open for Mariah
That
Carey
Boyz
tomorrow
II Men
night.
Christmas album is
You're welcome,
probably
Mom.
one of the better Christmas albums we don't talk about.
It is very true.
Your mom was so upset.
She
that
was.
Okay, we did the event to launch Tyus's foundation a couple weeks ago. Remind everybody about the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation was just to raise money for my Back to Teachers scramble. Pretty much just raising money for teachers, just to help them with school supplies for the students, just to not have them go through their pockets, but just to allow them to use the money that we raised to help them, help their kids out. So
It was an amazing night.
It was a great
Raised a
night.
lot of money.
Great night.
But I thought we could get Tyus to sing, and that might raise even more money.
I got cold feet that night.
Yeah, you did.
I got cold feet that night.
I said, Tyus, look at all these people. They're willing to donate so much money. And I looked over at Tyus's mom, because Tyus's mom had just said, Tyus has a beautiful voice. And I said, I've heard that, but he's never shared it with us.
I don't really show too much,
I thought we were cool. I thought
Well, you are cool, but
we were
there's
3 years into this.
obviously we ain't that
cool,
Yeah,
apparently.
but
I got a lesson of where I was. But in fairness, you also wouldn't sing when your mom wanted you to sing either. So
exactly, man.
it finally got it. It was this group right here.
And I'm sure she's watching right now. So I did that for you.
There you
Oh,
go.
that was
We love you,
nice.
Mom. We love you. That was awesome. Thank you for that. I
Yes.
appreciate
man,
it, pal.
So cool.
All right, let's do some. Rita and I on the show on 105.7 The Fan, we do a segment called The Wheel. It's a very silly segment where we have this giant wheel that we bring in and we spin it around and then we pick a topic.
It's really just Caleb making the noise.
Why would you give out kayfabe, Rita? Why would you do that?
Because
So, we don't
I actually
have-
appreciate Caleb's dedication to making the noise.
Never.
I would like to shout Caleb out for
I'm
that.
not going to do that.
What noise?
He makes the wheel noise.
Yeah.
He says toot, 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 and then he slows it down. He's like toot toot.
It's a good bit. It's a good radio
He does a
bit.
good job. So I'm going to give him his flowers today.
So let's just throw out some some topics, right? I'm just
Okay.
going to throw out some topics, get your thoughts. So I'm going to start with this one. The NFL, we've talked before about the hip drop tackles.
Okay.
They're going to get together at the meetings this week and discuss the future of hip drop tackles. They're also going to discuss the future of the tush push, which we've never talked about here before. Do you think the NFL should get rid of the tush push?
They shouldn't get rid of either of those. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, it's tackling. I mean, you got to get the guy down. The offense is gonna find a way for them not to get tackled. And we got to do the same way. And whatever we have to do to get you down, that's part of our job. That's how we get paid. So, I mean, I hate that. People getting hurt. But,
Yeah, we'd like to have Mark Andrews back out on the field right now.
absolutely. But we just got to figure out the best way to learn how to tackle the right way.
But what about people say the tush push is a non-competitive play?
No, I mean, tush, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that is
The brotherly shove,
That's a
yeah.
normal football play. I mean, we've been doing a quarterback sneak for how long, and people want to
But
now.
have we always done it with guys pushing from behind?
Yes, when the running back would be like 8 yards behind, and if once he snapped the ball, he come running.
There was definitely, at the college level, it was illegal for a little while because it was the Reggie Bush play from all those years
Oh,
ago.
Yeah.
Where he got away with it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I would definitely not get rid of it. I mean, it's part
Okay.
of football until you stop it. I mean, it is what it is.
All right.
The split flow block is also up.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
who?
The split flow block.
What is that?
I'd have to see it to know exactly what they're talking about, but apparently a lot of people are not happy about it either. It's very football.
Rita brought something out that we weren't prepared for in any
Okay,
way.
well, I
We were
thought Tyus
not-
would have known, so that's why I brought it up. So I guess we just have to see it on film to know, because I'm sure we know what it looks like, but apparently
Are
it's
you able to look it up or something?
yeah. I tried to look it up and I wasn't successful. But it's three things that's on
Yep, the agenda
menu,
for this
those
week's
three
meetings,
things.
yep.
I hope they don't do that because I mean, us as defense, they're already limiting us to this point. We can't tackle the quarterback. I mean, when it comes to different cut blocks, whatever it is, I mean, it's just so much stuff where we have the disadvantage as defensive players. And I know that this is an offensive sport, and everybody wants points to be scored. That's how you make money with this league. But you got to give us the same opportunity to go out there and defend the team. And we can't do that if you're limiting the way we tackle somebody. You get tackled, you get tackled.
It's part of the game.
Part of the game.
Yeah.
Tyus Bowser Show, Press Box 105.7 The Fan. Rita, do you want to do like a miniature version of the wheel? Do you want to do a...
Cool. Ready?
I don't like that. The other wheel's better. Shohei Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million deal. Now, I want to get, because the second part of it is he's not taking a lot of the money right now. It's a very weird thing.
Deferring.
Very smart guy, though.
Yep.
So it's a twofold question, right? The first question is, when you see these baseball salaries, and I get Shohei Ohtani is different than basically any other human on the planet, but baseball salaries in general are insane.
Yes.
What goes through your mind? And then second, what you just said, so Shohei Ohtani's only going to take $20 million in the first 10 years. And the rest, $680 million, will come over the 10 years after that. You said under your breath that was really smart.
Very smart.
Why?
Well, number one, is Shohei Ohtani. He has so many endorsements, and I'm sure he can go through L.A. and eat for free. And I'm sure with him being...
And if not, we'll bring him out here to Alonso's.
Absolutely.
And we will make sure that he gets a 1-pound burger whenever he wants.
Exactly.
That's
But I'm sure maybe within his culture, just the people he's around, I'm sure that he has good people around him to make him manage his money correctly, budget. And I'm sure with him, he probably don't even need too much. He seemed like a pretty cool, simple guy that just goes to work, chill at home with his family, whoever he got, and that's pretty much it. And I mean, you can live off of $2 million a year.
I mean, I guess.
You can live off of $2 million. If you can't live off of $2 million a year, then...
What, do I have to fly
That's a personal
commercial? That
problem.
sounds
That's a
terrible.
very personal problem. So, I mean, for him, I feel like that's a great idea because now he's thinking long term. He's not thinking, short term. Like
If that was an option in the NFL, is it something that you would consider?
for $680 million, absolutely.
Fair enough. All right, yeah, I guess that's
Absolutely.
a different.
Yeah.
That's a different world.
Absolutely.
That's a different.
Guaranteed?
Yeah.
This ain't no 700 mil, 300,000. I mean, 300 million guaranteed, and
Next year we could get rid of you if we want.
Exactly.
We don't have to pay
No.
any of it. Yeah, that's real.
I
money,
need my
right.
700 million.
Now they could always file bankruptcy down the line, and
You ain't filing bankruptcy.
but I said the same thing. Look, the smartest thing about this is the fact that this is probably legal tax evasion if we're thinking about this
easily.
properly, because Cali taxes are ridiculous. So by the time he gets the money, he's probably not going to be in California anymore, and he's evading. I think I've read somewhere he would have been paying $300 million in taxes.
Yes. Absolutely.
So there's that part.
That is chess while everybody else is playing,
It's playing checkers, baby.
Exactly.
All right. Quick wheel.
I'm not done yet.
Nope, sorry.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you. You're one of the few guys on the team that played with Joe Flacco.
Yes.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. He's Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco has always been a great player. I mean, obviously we know that because we have a championship, because of him. But just the talent that he has, man, and it shows. I mean, he's been showing it. He's been proving that he can make it in this league still, and I'm honestly happy to see him doing well. Especially him being out for so long. It's nice to see his name come up, so I'm happy for him.
It'd be real interesting if.
I would have liked him to go on somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But I mean, I understand. This is the NFL.
Be
You
real
gotta get in
interesting
with it.
Yeah.
if we get a January.
I don't wanna hear it,
Yeah,
please.
be real interesting if it
That'll
worked
be
out that
very
way.
interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, what company has the expertise and technology to make your home substantially more energy efficient, comfortable, and even virus free? It's AJ Michaels Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis at ajmichaels.com. We'll skip the wheel. We'll just go topic by topic, right?
Yeah. Oh, you ain't like my wheel?
Oh, time. That's all. We're running out of time on the show.
right.
You pretty much
Do your wheel, Rita. Do it.
I don't want to do it anymore.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Tyus.
That wasn't a bad wheel, actually. We can maybe we record that and use that as the wheel moving forward. College football playoff.
Yeah.
Florida State goes unbeaten
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
left out.
Yeah.
I'm not with it. I don't like it.
Okay?
I love it.
I don't like it.
Love
Rita's
it.
a hater. You got to
She is a
understand.
hater.
And
She's a Florida.
That's exactly what this
Florida
is.
fan. She's a
I
Florida
have a
fan
very, very good explanation to this, but I want to know why you hate it. Now I have a counter for that.
because you went undefeated. You're a Power 5. You're in a Power 5 conference. You've won the ACC.
Yep.
You've been number 4 this entire time.
You scheduled 2 SEC teams this year.
Exactly.
Took care of business.
Exactly. And you finish out. So what is making Alabama and all these other teams pass Florida State? They could have stayed at 4. I feel like they're the 4th best team in there. It don't matter. There's players in there. There's teams in there.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about the conference. If Jordan Travis is playing, they're in.
But that's wrong.
If
though.
It's jacked up. Don't get me wrong. But the way that this is set up was always jacked up. If you have a Power 5 conference and you only have 4 slots, somebody's feelings was always going to get hurt. That's how this was always set up. I'm going to ask you a question. Without Jordan Travis, do you still consider Florida State to be a top 4 team with a third-string quarterback? Because that's who they played with in the ACC championship.
Yes, they have a solid defense.
I don't. So that's the difference.
You don't think they could compete with Michigan?
Not with a third-string quarterback. No, I don't. No.
Okay.
Not with I said, yes, from a defensive perspective, sure. If we really want to be real, Michigan can exit because Michigan's going to get trounced in the first round like they always do. But they are healthy. That's the difference.
But you can't take a team out because they don't have a quarterback.
Yes, you can. Because they're no longer the top team. Yes, you can.
How are they not the top team when they finished number 4? They finished the season number 4 into the college football playoff rankings.
They have a third-string quarterback.
To Caius' point, they had that the week before, and the committee had them at number 4 in the country.
Yes, and then they played the ACC championship, and
it don't matter.
And that Louisville game was probably the worst game. It was the worst game.
You acting like everybody's supposed to have a great game.
You do. That's literally how you do college football. That's strength of victory does matter.
Okay, then. So then, what about Alabama losing to Texas?
What about Alabama barely beating a team that lost to New Mexico State?
Here's the other part.
Exactly.
And here's the other part.
Exactly.
And here's the other part. For me, Georgia has a better argument to me than Florida State does.
Texas, if we could have beat Texas, U of H, if we didn't have that crazy stuff. How did
we go back and we give you the retroactive national championship? Is what you're looking for?
What?
We're giving Tyus a retroactive national championship at Houston. That's what we're doing.
Sure.
Congratulations, Tyus. Hell yeah.
Go Cougs, baby. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. All right. Last one because we do have to wrap up. December 31st, y'all are playing the Dolphins. Game is scheduled to be at 1 o'clock. Looks like it's going to be a pretty big game.
It's probably going to be flex.
A lot of people think it might end up getting moved to 8:20. That's New Year's Eve.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Did you have plans first and foremost?
Yeah. You want to play at 8:20 on New Year's Eve, or are you kind of like, can we start petition to let's keep that game at 1 o'clock?
Oh, what about the 4:25? What about a quasi flex?
I would have been cool with the 4:25.
Okay.
You don't want to play at 8:20 on New Year's Eve.
Not really, but I felt like, and I'm speaking into existence, we win this game. Mm-hmm. That'll be a great.
Yes, it's a better.
Fireworks, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a better way to ring in the new year than like celebrating, maybe clinching the number.
It gets dark at 3:30. You get fireworks at 4:25.
She ain't wrong.
You are right. But that'll be a great way to bring in New Year's, winning the game. It's already 11:30, 11:45, and then you just pull out the fireworks and go home.
I'm still rooting for it to stay at 1 o'clock somehow, some way. I prefer it to be the case.
Yeah.
Y'all make some more one more time for Tyus Bowser, please. The Ravens currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. If you are running out of time to get the most favorable odds on a Festivus run, they're plus 220 to win the conference, plus 650 to win it all at Superbook. Download the Superbook app, visit superbook.com, use the code GlennClark23 when you sign up, and you'll receive a same-day first bet match up to $250, win or lose. And remember that if you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Appreciate you, brother. This was fun. Thanks for being a good sport and singing along with us.
Absolutely.
Next Tuesday night, we're not waiting. Next Tuesday night, the 19th, we're right back in action. We're going to be back at the Hamilton Sports Bar and Grill. That'll be the next Tyus Bowser Show. Find out more, PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser. Rita, love you.
Love you, friend.
Tyus, love you. Thanks to everybody who came out.
Yes.
Appreciate
y'all so much.
Thanks to Benad and the crew at Alonso's.
Fans, man, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he wants us to call him Milo. Benad said he's Milo.
Appreciate you, Milo.
Love you, Milo.
Shout out to Milo.
Appreciate you, man.
Owner of Alonso's.
Thanks to David and Ryan for running the show. For the crew, I'm Glenn. This has been the Tyus Bowser Show.